Go for it.
I'm sorry, you have to start again. I thought you were
Well,
going to
all
say
right.
the good morning stuff. So, 50 something years ago, my thesis in the School of Architecture was to design a super duper temple. And to do that, I wanted to really express something that I believed spiritually, that when a person went into this temple, he would have an experience that would be beneficial and maybe even help him learn something about God or about himself or whatever. And this is the way the middle of the temple looked, in that instead of it saying that the answer is out there somewhere, it forced them to come and go down into within themselves and to find the light they're looking for within them. So I would say this would be called look within. And that's where you'll find all the answers you need. And that's kind of the way I see Course in Miracles.
Love it. Love
Verse
it.
6. Thank you. He who sees a brother's body has laid a judgment on him and sees him not. He who sees the brother's body does not really see a brother as sinful. He does not see a brother at all. In the darkness of sin, a brother's higher self is invisible. A brother can but be imagined in the darkness, and it is here in the darkness that the illusions you hold about your sinful brother are not held up to your brother's reality, which is really Christ. Here are illusions and reality kept separated. Here are illusions never brought to truth and always hidden from truth. And here in darkness is your brother's reality of unlimited Christ consciousness, imagined as a body in unholy relationships with other bodies, serving the cause of sin an instant before he dies.
When we see a brother or ourselves as a body, we accept all the limitation that comes with that body form. We become a limited, separate ego body in competition with other ego bodies. To this illusionary body, the ego has now attached the illusion of sin. This illusory veil of form now blocks the reality of unlimited spirit. This is what keeps us away from the miracles. True vision is blocked by what we call physical sight. The egoic physical senses were only made to allow us to function in this little r world of illusion as if this illusion, this dream, were real. The physical senses' purpose is to deceive. They place value only on the worthless and see nothing of true value.
There is indeed a difference between this vain imagining and real vision. The difference lies not in them, but in their purpose of imagining and vision. Both imagining and vision are but means, each one appropriate to the end for which they are employed. Neither imagining nor vision can serve the purpose of the other, for each one is a choice of purpose employed on its behalf. Either imagining or vision is meaningless without the end for which imagining and vision was intended, nor is imagining or vision valued as a separate thing apart from the intention. The means seem real because the goal is valued, and judgment has no value unless the goal is sin.
The means always serves the purpose of the goal. The ego's goal is the confirmation that the separation was real. The image of you being a body is the means that verify that we're sinners and thus separate from God. The goal of the Holy Spirit's thought system is to bring the Son of God back to the truth of whole-mindedness. Vision is utilized to look past the illusion that the physical body is the home of our essence. Instead, vision focuses on the reality of our Christ consciousness. The shared goal of both the Holy Spirit and the Christ is to reawaken the sleeping mind to the truth of the shared oneness. Vision is the means utilized to achieve this goal of rejoining in the knowledge that we are the one self. That's what we're trying to do here.
The body cannot be looked upon except through egoic judgment. To see the body is the sign that you lack vision, a deep vision that they're talking about, and have denied the means the Holy Spirit offers you to serve the Holy Spirit's purpose. How can a holy relationship achieve its holy purpose, which is to return to truth, through the means of sin? Judgment you taught yourself. Vision is learned from the Holy Spirit. Who would undo your egoic teaching of judgment and sin? I thought that W was a new sentence starting.
Yep.
It's referring to the Holy
The
Spirit.
Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit's vision cannot see the body because the Holy Spirit cannot look on sin. And by the way, here, neither can we. We can only look at another person and think because of
And see our own judgments. We look at another form and see our own judgments, not seeing, and that's the body that we see. It's our own judgments.
that's right. And we can't see their dream, which is what their little r reality is, because nobody can share somebody else's dream. You can't get into somebody else's dream and fix it. You can't get into somebody else's dream and make them happy. You can't get into somebody else's dream. And thus, the Holy Spirit's vision leads you to reality. Your holy brother, sight of whom is your release, is no illusion. Your holy brother is the Christ, their higher self. Attempt to see your holy brother not in darkness, for your imaginings about your holy brother as being a body, or in other words, an ego, will seem real there in the darkness. You closed your Christ's eyes to shut your holy brother out from the truth of what he really is, the Christ. The denial of truth was your purpose. And while the denial of truth's purpose seems to have a meaning, the means for its attainment, which is the belief that we are this body only, will be evaluated as worth the seeing. And so you will not see with the real vision of Christ.
As long as we value being special and different, we will value the belief that we are a separate ego body. This desire for the separation will result in our mind choosing to continue to make an imaginary world of flesh that bears false witness to the reality of the illusion. Being a body is the means to make this illusion appear real. Seeing with the physical eyes is the means to confirm our desire for specialness. Sin, which is born from arrogance, can attach itself only to the body. In the insane mind of the dreamer, God's perfect Son now takes on the illusionary appearance of a fearful,
Mm.
guilty, sinful body. In the insane mind of the dreamer, God's perfect Son, which is each and every one of us, all of us, takes on this illusionary appearance of a fearful, guilty, sinful body. I don't know about you, but it sure is believable. This illusion is 100% what we see all the time, every day. Reinforced over and over and over again as, hey, this is reality, people.
Yeah.
And what this book is saying is that it's not.
There's a lot of people right now on this day that believe that the coronavirus is a dream, is an illusion, and they feel fearful, but they are going to use all their power to get rid of the fear and just go ahead and be close to other people and do the things that they're told not to do. That's not the way out of this mess. The way out of this mess is not by ego kind of pushing power. The way that we get up into the real world where we are sane is we allow the dream to be a dream and we wake up. And then we do the thing that is helpful to us. Your question should not be, how can I see my brother without the body? Ask yourself, do I really wish to see him sinless? And as you ask yourself, do I really wish to see him sinless? Forget not that his sinlessness is your escape from fear. When you see him sinless, you will not have fear anymore either. Salvation is the Holy Spirit's goal for all of us. The means is vision. For what the egoic seeing looks upon is really sinless. For what the egoic seeing looks upon is really sinless. No one who loves can judge, and what he who loves and does not judge sees is free of condemnation. And what he who loves and doesn't judge sees is the truth. He who loves and doesn't judge did not make the truth, for the truth was given him to see with the eyes of Christ, as was the vision that made his seeing possible. Many different ways of saying the same thing. It's a hard thing to get. Sometimes this kind of stuff you have to read more than once.
Yeah, and that's why we read the For Dummies version, because it puts a lot of these things back in. Maybe it would be easier to read this paragraph in its original form. I'm willing to do that if you think it'd be helpful.
It would. I think everybody should see it. And it's, we sometimes ad lib a little bit while we're sort of reading this because we're trying to get the real meaning out of it. That's
Yep.
the purpose of
But
this.
this is the last paragraph of this section, and a lot of times the real meaning is packed in there. So here it is without the stuff in bold being read. The original version says, your
Right.
question should not be, how can I see my brother without the body? Ask only, do I really wish to see him sinless? And as you ask, forget not that his sinlessness is your escape from fear. Salvation is the Holy Spirit's goal. 5. The means is vision, for what seeing look upon is sinless. For what the seeing look upon is sinless. For what the people that can see, when they look with their eyeballs, it's actually sinless. No one who loves can judge, and what he sees is free of condemnation. No one who loves would judge. What he sees is free of condemnation. And what he sees, he didn't make, for it was given him to see. as was the vision that made his seeing possible. In physical sight, we see the
Let me add
images.
something here, Lee.
Sure.
It's funny when in any spiritual stuff that you read, anybody reads, not just here, it's the stuff that seems crazy at the moment, the first time you read it, and like, what is he saying here? It's backwards. Those are the ones you have to delve into. That's where you pick up the real plums of truth that make it all make sense. It's the ones that are confusing are the ones where it's hidden from you, and it's the next thing for you to unveil and see what's really going on here. Okay, thanks.
In physical sight, we see the images that are the representations of the ego's prejudged thought projections. That's what our eyeballs see. They see what our brain wants them to see. Thus, seeing is not unbiased observation. Maybe that's a good way of putting it. We are seeing only the images that the ego made. When the ego makes, it comes from the belief in limitation. Vision observes the truth of reality. Reality was created out of the extension of everything. Creation gives everything because it is everything. Creation is the truth of the mind of God. In the world of perception, the Holy Spirit transforms the illusionary, imagined forms that the ego has made and reinterprets these forms in light of the truth of what we truly are. Thus, the same event can and will be interpreted differently based on the goal or the purpose we assign it. If we wish to confirm our separateness, we will utilize egoic sight and see a body. If our goal is the return to truth and the reclaiming of our divine birthright, we will utilize the vision of the Holy Spirit's thought system and look upon the Christ in our brother. The call or desire for truth requires vision. The desire for illusion requires egoic thinking. And we don't have to work for that. It comes naturally, right?
Sure it does.
All right.
Just live a little bit and you'll get it. What's the title of the next one?
Vision of sinlessness.
Well, good. That's going to clarify that.
All right. And we'll get to that one tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.